Hello and welcome to the first episode of Divine Interviews. This episode will be recorded slightly differently to future episodes, so please bear that in mind. Today, I am your host, James Fletcher, and I will be talking to you about my personal experiences with voice acting and voiceover in general, and how I got started, and how I work with um, what I have and do what I do. So, I started off voice acting at the start of 2020, so around the 21st of January 2020 was when I made my channel. And at first it was going good. I was doing a lot of grinding, had to do a lot of self-promotion. When you're a voice actor and you're starting out with a YouTube channel, especially if you're young, around 16, 17, and not really looking for paid work or don't have the experience to be looking for paid work, YouTube is a good place to kind of like start and get a feel uh, as to what you are able to do. So, over the year that I have been doing voice acting, I have been able to gain access to different pitches of voices, different voices, and just in general being able to change the tone of my voice with very little effort. So, the grind is hard, but with a year's worth of practice, let me show you something, some things that I have been able to develop. First is my Zamazu voice. For those of you who don't know who Zamazu is, he's a he's a character from the TV show Dragon Ball Super, and I just find him very interesting. And to me, his voice kind of sounds something like this. Ah, greetings, mortals. I am Zamazu, Kaioshin of Universe 10, and today we will be doing some very fun, capitalism. Yes, yes, capitalism. And then also, with practice and a few lessons from a friend of mine, actually, who does the same voice, I have been able to access the voice of Imperfect Cell, again, another Dragon Ball character. That is kind of the anime that I went for. That's kind of like what my aim was, because I was really familiar with it. And that sounds something like this. Hello, I am Imperfect Cell. And you can see with that voice, it's kind of like a deep, kind of like croaky, kind of insecty kind of voice, and that's what the character is based off. Um, as for what I mentioned earlier, different pitches of voices, um, that is pretty self-explanatory. I can go kinda high pitched and I also have a low, like a deep voice, kind of like this. You know, you should really get that fixed. And then my high voice is kind of like this. Well, if you just you know. So my high voice is, it's kind of like a voice crack in a way. You get that kind of like voice crack, kind of like tone with a high pitched voice. A thing with doing voices is you must always have some form of liquid with you at all times. I actually made that mistake in not having any liquid with me whatsoever. So when I did the imperfect cell voice, I got a slightly sore throat. If there's a voice that hurts your throat, don't do it for long periods of time. Do it in short bursts. I'd recommend about 5 minutes on a voice that may put strain on your throat, because throat strain is the worst thing that could happen to you when you're voice acting. It's really irritating. It hurts your throat. It hurts your voice, and all in all, it's just it's not fun to have. Um, when you start voice acting on YouTube, it's not easy. It is not easy to get started. You have to do a lot of grinding, a lot of experimenting, and a lot of self-promotion to kind of get where you want to be. Now, there are channels on YouTube that have incredibly what's the word? Blossomed. We'll use the word blossomed. Channels like Prince Vegeta, Abridged Goku, Masako X, and many others have started their voice acting journey on YouTube. And that's what inspired me to start voice acting myself, and it has been a crazy journey filled with ups and downs, but the main thing is to not give up. If there's a voice that you can't do, then don't strain yourself to do it, okay? That's a good piece of advice that I have to give you. If there is a voice that either does not suit your vocal range, or you just cannot do because it puts too much strain on your throat and your vocal cords, do not do that voice. It's for your own sake. It is for your own health. Like, do not do that voice, because it is really not fun to have. And also, when it comes to getting I'm gonna use the term team. When it comes to getting a team for like gaming videos, because most voice acting YouTube channels have some form of gameplay in them. When it comes to getting a team for those videos, you need to remember a few things. One, if they say they kinda sound like the character that you want, they more than likely are not suited for that character role. I have made that mistake myself many times. 2. If they say they used their natural voice for that character, 9 times out of 10, that voice, that natural voice, will not be the voice that you want. And if you agree and put them on board in the videos, people will pick up on it, and you will start getting hate or criticism, and that is just not a path you want to go down. You also might want to check who else they're in contact with. For example, I made a friend who how do I put this without sounding mean? I made a friend who just who said they sound like a character, and I got them on board because at the time I was an inexperienced 16-year-old who didn't know the ins and outs of YouTube yet. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. I then come to find out a few months later that they get into a spot of YouTube drama, which is very, very, very common these days. And I get dragged into that, and that does not look good on your channel. If you have videos titled exposing so-and-so, it does not look good. I am telling you right now, if you want to gain subscribers, do not expose anybody for any reason whatsoever. Ignore the hate, ignore the drama, just do you. Those are my 3 main tips that I tell myself every single day. No hate, no drama, be me, equals best results. Now, when it comes to getting in collabs, collabs is an abbreviation of collaborations. You want to get someone who has a good recording setup. Examples of those will be coming in episode 2 and 3. So check those out when they come out. But when you want to collab with someone, you need to plan beforehand, make sure they're still available at least a day in advance, and then be ready to record roughly half an hour earlier, just to avoid any inconveniences. Now, when it comes to recording videos and stuff, or just practicing in general, what you want is a quiet space, something to keep you focused. Maybe that's some music, or you're playing a game and you're just voice acting. You want something to keep you focused. And then with that, what you have is a mental recording environment. The second thing you want is as minimal background noise as possible. If people come to your videos and hear siblings fighting in the background, dogs barking, anything like that, they will not stick around. They will click off that video in an instant. You also want to make sure that you have quick reactions, so that if you're recording, you can quickly press the pause recording button or switch off your mic just in case if you're in my situation, just in case your parents come into the room that you are working in. This is one of the most inconvenient experiences you will have as a voice actor, because parents have three forms of complaints. Number one, you're being too loud. Number two, we need your help with something. Or number three, we need to use this room. Get yourself a recording studio of sorts. And if you can't use your bedroom, occupy something. Just something. Just occupy something. Even if it's under a table. Sounds weird, but it works. But that is everything that I wanted to cover in this podcast. I hope you did enjoy this, and I hope you're looking forward to checking out the next 2 episodes that will be coming out in a week's time, a week after the other. So this episode will already be up, obviously, and then episode 2 will come out the week after, and then episode 3 the week after that. Thank you for listening to Divine Interviews, and I wish you all a very good day, and I hope I gave you some very good advice in this podcast. If this didn't help, feel free to leave a dislike. If this did help and you want to see more, make sure to click that like and subscribe button. Good day.